Good morning. Today is New Year's Day. It's also leg day. About the only thing that matters. I'm on my way. This is my first time recording a video like this of any sort. But I thought it'd be a nice little thing to challenge myself with. Put myself out there a little bit more. What's on the menu? I haven't been doing squats as much recently. Twofold. One, I've been in a calorie deficit for a while now, slowly but surely. And as much as I love squats, I've just been putting my energy towards just machine work or the new pendulum squat I got in one of my new gyms. And that's been really challenging. So that's been a good change of pace. However, one of my goals for this year is, with my bulk, do my best to get back up to, well, not back up to, but I do want to hit a PR on squat of 405. I've never been able to hit 4 plates, and I think this year, dedicating myself to putting in the work, 4 plates would be really, really, really nice as a little end of the year treat or end of bulk treat. Right now I'm sitting in at 183. I'm at the tail end of my deficit, as I've been in a deficit for most of 25, and I just want to get down to 180, maintain that for a couple of weeks to see how I feel when I go back to maintenance, and yeah, go from there. I think this year I will do the slowest bulk I've ever done. My wedding is in October, so I think either a really slow bulk to 190 would be really nice, or if I hit 190, 195, do a mini cut in the summertime, try and get back down to 185 or to 190. But goal for the wedding is to be at 190. Yeah, I'm excited to try and challenge myself into recording a video whenever I can of my working sets, of my pose downs that I do every day. I think that'd be pretty cool. Right now, for this leg day, starting off with calves, I just find that starting with calves helps me warm up the back of my knee as well when I move on to hamstrings. And also, I don't forget the calves at the end. After that, I'll move on to, if I do squats today, I'll move on to maybe some hip adduction, abduction, and then on to either seated or lying hamstring curls. I'm a big fan of the lying hamstring curls, but recently I've been trying to do the seated ones a little bit more, just for a little variation. As you can probably tell from the fact that I'm recording this video in the car, Sam Sulek was a huge inspiration and exactly the type of content that I didn't know I was looking for when I found him a few years ago, and pretty much the only gym content I watch purposefully. Just the chill, laid back demeanor of just, it's just a gym day every day. Yeah, so after hamstring curls of some kind, probably about 5 or 6 sets, then I'll move on to quads. I'll probably do 2, maybe 3 working sets of leg extensions prior to squatting, just to make sure my legs are warmed up. I felt a little bit of imbalance between my 2 quads recently. My left leg seems to always get fully pumped with double leg extensions, and my left quad lags behind. So definitely some single leg extensions for before the squats. Then move on to squats. See how I feel. I'm looking back on the only video I have of January 1st of 2025 was a 1 rep of 315, because at that point I'd also not been squatting very often, as much as I did in my when I was younger. So I'd like to work my way up to match that or beat that. Definitely one of the other goals with squatting is do more than just what I used to do with powerlifting, where it was just sets of 1, sets of 2, sets of 3, and actually do working sets of quad biased squats. So I always squatted high bar when I was younger, and when I did powerlifting, I tried low bar at first. Didn't really work out for me just because my wrists hurt. And then the second time I tried low bar, a few months later, or a few years later actually, low bar was able to click with me. However, when I tried low bar squatting for the second time, I didn't have as strict of a program for powerlifting as I did the first time. So my weight matched my high bar squat, but it did not exceed it, and it did not get me to 405 squat. But I'd like to do another. I did a powerlifting competition. I did 2 powerlifting competitions last year. I did pretty well for myself, and definitely opened up a Pandora's box of putting myself out there in the gym world. So I would definitely like to do another powerlifting competition this year at some point. My squat, I think my PRs for those 2 competitions was 167.5 kilos on squat. It was 112 kg bench, or 112.5 kg on bench, which I did exceed this past year. Even in a deficit, I got up to 117.5, small PR, but progress is progress. And my deadlifts, I have not deadlifted with purpose probably about 2 to 2.5 years now. So I think my deadlift during those competitions was just 405 or 425 or something in the low 400s, just because I didn't really want to push it. But yeah, that's about as much of an intro as I have. I'm almost at the gym. It's leg day. It's the start of the new year. It's only going to get better. Right. So this is the post leg day hose down pump check. Let's run through it. Tighten up. So, although I I am at the end of my cut. I really do wish I saw a little bit more definition and separation, especially in the quads. I've been lean enough to see some good separation before. Also this walk, but it's also after the pump, so definition is going to be a little hidden just from the pump, but every so often I can get a good look. The teardrop right here, this one right here in the outer quad. When I'm doing the leg extensions, I do like to tilt my toes out just a little bit, just to get a little bit more of the outer quad, just because it helps with the shape. And then, although any sort of calf pump is probably gone by now, I don't know how much definition you can see there. I got some pretty good calf separation, especially in the front too. Overall, pretty sick leg day. Did not get up to 315 for squats. Did 2 sets at 275 for 4, and then a back down set at 225 for 8. So the fatigue on the higher reps is definitely there. I also need to tighten my weightlifting belt a tad because I'm at the end of the cut, so it's not tight enough to get the pressure that I wanted. But leg day is complete. Very satisfying, very good start to the new year. And now it's time for probably 30 minutes on the treadmill. I normally like the seated bike, but after a leg day, I have been doing the treadmill a little bit more often. Anyways, see you guys in the car. That was an excellent leg day and cardio session. Did 30 minutes on the treadmill. Various inclines, but same around 3.2 miles an hour. The machine said I burned 300 calories, so that's always good. That's what I always kind of aim for on the seated bike as well. But now it's time to go back to the house. I'll have my 2 protein yogurts and chocolate chip bread rolls as my post-workout meal. That's honestly my number 2 staple, right behind my breakfast. That's egg whites, 4 egg whites, or 4 eggs with the yolks removed, with a tortilla and a serving of cheese just wrapped up. That's my go-to. Sometimes with some hot sauce in there as well. And then maybe I'll have just some plain toast or some of the chocolate chip bread rolls, depending on how I'm feeling or what I'm doing that day. But that egg white tortilla cheese breakfast is around 400 something calories, 500 something calories, with 30 grams protein. And then the 2 protein yogurts, 20 grams protein each. So those are my 2 staples. And for dinner tonight, I got chicken thighs that I always remove the skin from. Either oven bake them or air fry them, but most of the time just oven bake them. I'll have 2 of those. And then I just made some cilantro lime rice the other night, so I ate all that, so I'll make a new batch of cilantro lime rice, and I made the Chipotle chicken alongside it, so that was really good, so I'll make that again tonight. And then tomorrow, I gotta go grocery shopping, and the next day, and I eat the same thing, mostly the same thing every single week. If it's not chicken thighs, I did chicken breasts pretty recently. I'm on again, off again with chicken breasts, just because, yes, they're the leanest chicken. However, it's also, I get sick of chicken breasts pretty quickly. So if it's not chicken thighs, it's chicken drumsticks. If it's not chicken drumsticks, back to chicken thighs, and then chicken breasts, and then back to thighs. But my staple that I definitely make at least once a week is just some oven baked chicken wings, and that's stupid simple. It's just salt, pepper, garlic powder, and then whatever hot sauce or whatever sauce I kind of want with that, and that'll just be my dinner, the entire package of chicken wings. So I do have a knack for that. If I'm having not a protein carb, I'm bad with my vegetables, but if I'm not having a designated like protein and pasta, protein and rice kind of meal, and I am having kind of a cheap meal, kind of a pig out meal, it's get a package of pot stickers and delete the entire bag in 15 minutes. Or get an entire package of chicken wings and delete the entire package of chicken wings in 15 minutes. I enjoy eating a large volume of food. And it's the only time I feel like satisfied eating. But I don't know if that's something wrong, something I need to concern myself with. I just like it, so I do it, and I like it. I'm able to stay around my calorie goal most days. Right now, since I'm in like a little bit of a work break, I upped my calories to around 2,500. But with the Christmas week, I did make brownies and I had steaks, and I overate a little bit. So I think over the week of Christmas, I averaged about 2,800, 2,900 calories. But now I'm getting that back within bounds. So between 2,300, 2,400, 2,500. That way I'll hit my weight goal of around 180 in 2 to 3 weeks. Another thing I notice, I track my weight every single day. So when I have some days I'll have a large difference in the amount of carbs I eat. So if one day I overeat, or even if it's only slightly above my calorie goal and it's a day at 250 grams or 250, 275, maybe 300 grams of carbs in a day. And then I'll have a day where the next day it's only 150 grams of carbs. And my weight will drop or spike up relatively significantly. It's pretty common for me to gain or lose over a pound in one day, depending on how much I'm eating. But I just plot everything anyways. I don't concern myself too much with it, just because I know what it is. I know it's carbs, I know it's water, I know it's salt. So, but I do track it every single day just to have the best averages, to see the best graph. I love the data. Some people struggle with tracking calories. Personally, for me, I found it to be like a mini game, and it kind of like clicked into place in my brain where, I want to play the mini game of hit my protein goal, hit my calorie goal. And I've never had a problem with it, thankfully. I've enjoyed it. Also, being in a deficit for so long, I'm at the point where it's not that I do want to pig out, and I do want to eat the junk food, and I do want to make brownies on the weekly or ice cream on the weekly and have that because that's delicious and all. But everything I'm eating, it isn't just for fuel, but is it going to maintain my goal? And I think I'm pretty good at the delayed gratification of that, where even last night I'm hungry after the gym, and the worst thing you can do is go grocery shopping when you're hungry. But I go to the grocery shop right after the gym. I walk in, I walk around. It's New Year's Eve. My family tradition on New Year's Eve was to always get Chinese food. I walk through all the aisles. I go to the freezer section. I look at the bag of pot stickers, and I look at the back. And I've had the entire bag of pot stickers before, and honestly, it's pretty good macros. But I just look at it and say, I already have the chicken and rice at home already made. It's already in a meal prep. I just need to eat it. You know what? I don't necessarily need that today. And I'm proud of myself for sticking to my goals like that. I know it's the laziness of, oh, I just want a quick 10-minute dinner, but it's also, delayed gratification again of, I have my goals. I'm gonna try and stick to them. Maybe I'm gonna get the pot stickers tomorrow night. Who knows? But it's those little victories every single day that do pile up. And I am most definitely ready to hit my weight goal and not immediately bounce right back up into a surplus, but slowly, probably 200 calories a week, or 200 calories every 2 weeks, hopefully. Slowly bulk that back up. I am ready to eat again. But something I've also noticed is when I am bulking, or especially on this bulk, I need to be careful of the ratios of the protein, the carbs, and the fats in the meals that I'm eating. Because on the cuts, I feel excellent. My energy levels are constant. I don't feel bloated. I don't feel tired after meals. However, when I have done my bulks, and it's not like I'm eating complete trash. I'm having ground beef and pasta or a bowl of cereal. But after those bulking meals, I feel lethargic. I feel bloated. I feel tired and exhausted and sleepy at work. Where for this bulk, yes, I will have a bowl of cereal on the weekends, or I will have 100 to 150 grams of carbs pre-workout, just because I want to be carved up for my workout. But I'm definitely going to try to manage and solve the puzzle of what am I eating that makes me feel bad after eating, and try to optimize that. And yeah, those are, that's kind of how my brain's at with the end of the cut coming into the end, or coming soon, and the start of the bulk coming up. But yeah, I'll get home, pre-workout or post-workout meal, and then I'll have dinner a little bit later. My sweet treats recently with the holidays have been Kit Kats and M&Ms. So I'm also pretty proud of myself that I'm able to hold myself to a single serving or a half serving of M&Ms, or the gummy bears I had in the gym today for leg day, where I'm counting out 16 M&Ms, which is half a serving, or I'm counting out 13 gummy bears, which is a single serving. And I'm like, okay, I don't need to eat the entire package or half the package of M&Ms to be satiated and to be satisfied. I'm okay with my sweet little treat. One of the things I did last night, because I needed a little bit extra protein at the end of the night, and I wish I did it a little bit differently, but I ate the serving of M&Ms first, and then I was like, oh, I should have my protein yogurts now. And then I ate them. But I wish I ate the protein first and then sprinkled the M&Ms inside the yogurts. That's one of the things I also need to optimize. I've heard briefly the order of if you eat the protein first in a meal or the carb first in the meal, it impacts digestion in a certain way. I usually like to have even bites of whatever I'm eating. So if I'll have a bite of protein, then I'll have a bite of carbs, then I'll have a bite of any sort of veggies if I have them. But yeah, playing around with, all right, well, if I'm gonna have a sweet treat at the end of the night, let me save a vanilla yogurt, or vanilla protein yogurt, as my designated dessert protein, and that way I can have a protein and a sweet treat at the end of the night as well. But I'm back at the crib, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for chest day.